This segment from the Chaos Reigns trailer has been in the back of my mind since I saw it. And I've been thinking, which character has what animality? And granted, they kind of just straight up show us one of them and hint towards others. So what I've done is made a big list on the tier list creator, actually, and I've already got all the fighters loaded up on the chart, and below that we have a whole bunch of animals and bugs alike that we're going to guess and assume which bug or animal belongs to whichever fighter. So stick around, and if you have your own opinions, feel free to let us know in the comment section as well. All right, let's breeze through and get through this as quick as possible. Okay, so let's start alphabetically now. So we have Ashra, and I am falling upon the owl because I think an owl can be elegant and it can be creepy at the same time. Ashra has wings, right? And she's known for her dark and light side. All right, next we got Baraka. So, Baraka, if we look back at the previous Mortal Kombat games, which is a whole list right here, if we go through, and I made sure, mind you, that I got every single one of these. Baraka was a vulture in the past. So, we could assume that Baraka would be a vulture again. There it is. There it is. There it is. So, we're going to drop the vulture there. And then we have Ermac. What would Ermac be? You know, he's about spirits and all that kind of stuff. He's a little Egyptian-y. He's always given me that semi-Egyptian vibe. And that's even outside of MKX's Egyptian fit for Ermac. So anyway, I've chosen the Scarab because it seems very fitting. Even in color, it seems fitting. Next, we have Garrus. Now, Garrus, within that trailer that we watched there in the beginning segment, you could kind of see the same lines that are on Garrus are on the hippopotamus. So that's another one that we can just safe to assume that Garrus is the hippo. All right, next we have Havoc. Now, Havoc was another character that a lot of people said, oh, look at that hyena. Its mouth is all torn back. It's missing its nostrils. I initially thought it could be Baraka, but the fact that the hyena was missing its nostrils at all just kind of tells me that's definitely Havoc. All right, so we have the first list done. Ashra, an owl. Baraka, a vulture, and we might change that later. Ermac, the scarab. Garrus, the hippo. And Havoc, the hyena. Kind of rhymes. All right, then we have Homelander. All right, now mind you, we're going alphabetical here, so there's no rhyme or reason outside of that. So now we're on row U. We have Homelander. Who would Homelander be? We've never seen him do anything where he would become any kind of animal. Nothing he does screams, I'm going to turn into like a bald eagle or something like that. Now that's possible. He could turn into a bald eagle. And we do have an eagle down here. But here's my suggestion or my hope for Homelander. If any of you are familiar with the show The Boys, an octopus. I think it would be absolutely amazing if Homelander turned into an octopus. Because it just, yeah, he deserves it. He deserves to get turned into an octopus. Okay, so if we go back into the old list once again, Johnny Cage he's a legacy character. And so his animality back in the day was actually him turning into a kangaroo. That surprised me quite a bit. I think if we had Kano as a main roster fighter, I'd be like, yeah, he's a kangaroo for sure. You know, times have changed, characters have changed a little bit, but kangaroo, I guess he's the kangaroo. Now, we already did Kenshi as the wolf. Let's move on to Katana. Now, Katana in the past, let's see what she was. She was a rabbit. And that's cute. That's endearing. The thought of her turning into a bloodthirsty rabbit, or like the one that's in Monty Python and the Holy Grail that's just like super vicious. That's kind of endearing, kind of cute. But I don't know what it is. And since we're going in the realm of bugs, and since Melina is a mantis, I thought, why not have her sister be a big, beautiful butterfly? I think that would be, a pretty good one for Katana, personally. I think her as a butterfly, I could see that happening. You know, bye-bye Butterfree. Anyway, let's move on to Lee May. Lee May gives me, what is that? The Cave of Wonders vibes. Her moves gives me Cave of Wonders vibes, right? So I immediately am thinking tiger and she needs to have a tiger of some kind. It could be a Siberian tiger, whatever. Just a tiger, a Bengal tiger, a beautiful big old tiger. Show me a tiger. Okay. Now let's move on to Kung Lao. Kung Lao is also a legacy character, and he was once a cheetah, which still kind of fits for Kung Lao, if I'm being honest. So we have the cheetah here. It's not like there's an animal out in the wild that has a hat and it throws its hat, So it's kind of, or teleports. So what do you really, where do you correlate? At some point, you just got to go, okay, overall characteristic maybe, super speed. He's super fast. So cheetah, we'll stick with cheetah. Now Liu Kang, now more than ever, should be the dragon. We all know him as turning into the dragon. He's the iconic character that turns into the Mortal Kombat logo. So let's bring that back. Also, are dragons without wings still considered dragons? What's the difference between a dragon and a wyvern? Is it quadrupedal and bipedal? Anyway. So we already know Melina and who she is. Let's move on to Natara. Natara seems like she'd be kind of obvious. You could have Natara turn into a bat, a massive vampire bat, right? And that would work out just fine. I think a big old vampire bat would work, but at the same time, I think we have the potential for something even cooler here. All right. Since we have a T-Rex, we already saw the animality of the bone T-Rex. I thought, why not have another dinosaur up in the house? And a pterodactyl. How cool would that be to see Megan Fox turn into a friggin' pterodactyl? I think that would be amazing. I would love that. I would love that quite a bit. All right, now we move on to Omni-Man. Omni-Man is virtually indestructible. He's a tough SOB. He really is. He just is. And so I thought he should be the elephant. Because they're big, they're tough, they're sturdy, and we hear an elephant in the trailer. So I assume one of these people have to be an elephant, unless they just went with generic animal noises and then linked them all together for that opening clip, which is very possible. They could have done that. All right, now we have Homelander. Wow. Peacemaker. And I know a lot of people think Peacemaker will be an eagle. I do not think that whatsoever. I think Peacemaker will actually be a dove. If you don't remember from the show, Peacemaker, all of his items, all of his stuff has the dove of peace on it. It's even on his chest right there. So, to me, how much cooler would it be instead of him just turning into a big version of Eagly, that he turns into a dove of peace and him and Eagly just go pecking crazy at the opponent. You know what I mean? I think that would be super cool. I'm all about that. Now, based on Mortal Kombat Wiki, the T-Rex skeletal that we saw is actually going to be Quan Chi. So I'm just going to agree with them there, because outside of that, I really don't know. He would summon dead things, so it would make sense. He is a sorcerer. He is kind of a necromancer, right? Still, even though he has a space octopus. So yeah, I do agree with that choice. Now, the next one, Raiden. Raiden is also obviously a legacy character, and back in the day, he would turn into an electric eel. And I gotta be honest, I don't see any really other thing that works. I don't. What other animal actually gives electric shocks? I tried to Google it. I wasn't coming up with nothing. So I say the eel for Raiden stays. There's no changing that. That's going to be a forever thing. All right, now let's go over to Raiko. Since we already did Rain as the pufferfish, Raiko, to me, is the gorilla. I know a lot of people were thinking the gorilla was going to be Shao Kahn, or excuse me, General Khan. But something about when I saw the gorilla, and I think when I see gorilla, I think a grappler, probably because Gorilla Grodd, and Raiko's kind of the closest thing to a grappler we have in this game. So, to me, gorilla meets Raiko, right there. That makes the most sense to me by far. All right, now let's go to row M. We have Reptile. Reptile already transforms into that Psyzok reptilian version, whatever, of himself. So do we deviate far from that? Or do we just kind of go a little extra with it? when I was growing up, there was all these like alligator movies, you know, like Lake Placid and stuff like that. So massive alligators was like a huge thing when I was growing up. And I recently saw a movie called Crawl, which I thought was pretty good, and that was kind of an alligator-based movie as well. I would like to see him turn into a massive alligator and just tear it up. Do the death roll. He already does the death roll in his moveset. He's very alligator to me as is. So I say reptile meets alligator. Now, Scorpion. Scorpion is another fighter that everyone's like, oh, yeah, we have a Scorpion. It's Scorpion. So Scorpion turns into a massive Scorpion. Not hard to believe. Shang Tsung, obviously, another legacy character. Back in the day, he would turn into a Cobra, and I do not see why he wouldn't now. You know what it reminded me of? Y'all remember when Jafar turned into that big old snake, right? That's what that reminded me of. So yeah, I hope we see that again. Show me some live action Aladdin like style, you know, transformation animality. I want to see it. I just want to see it. Okay, let's move on to Shao, which is why he's down here after Shang, because I didn't put him as General Shao. We go off of his name, not his title, right? So Shao here has always looked to me like Iron Bull from Dragon Age Inquisition. He looks so much like him, from the pointy ears to the horns to virtually everything. If you've never played it, just Google him and you'll see what I mean. Iron Bull looks like a version of General Shao that came out 15 years ago, because it kind of is. So, General Shao. If I don't think Shao is a gorilla, I think he's going to be a creature that has horns. Initially, I thought maybe a rhinoceros would be good, because it would be a callback to a previous Mortal Kombat character who had a rhinoceros. And I want to find out who that was real quick. Let's see. We're going through. Who had the rhino? Somebody had a rhino. No, not seeing it. Oh yeah, skeletal rhinoceros was Cabal. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to see a rhino up in here again. So I thought Shao would do a good job turning into a rhino, but at the same time, those horns, man. Those horns. I feel like he's got to be an African buffalo, like that, you know, kind of looks like an ox, or a bull, you know? So I'm going with the African buffalo. Those are some tough sons of guns. Think about what they have to fight and endure and deal with out there. So yeah, I go with the African bull is what I think. I know that's super specific, but we'll see, right? All right, now we have Sindel. Sindel screams. She's known for being a screamer. When I looked up the loudest animals in the animal kingdom, I came up with a lot of whales. Good thing water muffles sound, right? So I looked up, you know, non-water-based animals. Like this is a Pokemon game. Anyway, and I came across bats. The screech of a bat, and a particular bat. So I decided even more of a reason for Natara to be a pterodactyl is to turn Sindel into a massive bat with luxurious hair that is going to screech at the opponent and then eat you up like a little delicious fruit. All right, now we have row E. We're starting with Smoke. Smoke is a legacy character. Back in the day, Smoke was a bull silhouette, and human Smoke was a porcupine. Now, I liked the sound of both of those, but not for him. I think Smoke would do really good as a panther. Panthers are friggin' epic, yo. They're one of the, like, Black Panther, the character, you know, is just so... If y'all don't look up images of Black Panthers and tell me that you wouldn't shit your pants if you saw that shine of the moonlight off of their shimmery dark skin and hair. That'd be scary, bro. It'd be scary. Anyway, so I choose Smoke for a panther. Because, yeah. Sorry, I ruined your Black Panther party. Now let's move along. We have Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero, back in the day, was a penguin. And Scorpion, if I'm not mistaken, was a polar bear? Or something like that. It was something weird back in the day. Anyway, times have changed, mother suckers. So I say a bear, a polar bear. Give me the Coca-Cola classic, Berik Yerninson from Golden Compass. Yes, that is all. Give me that polar bear action. as Sub-Zero, right? Now we have Takeda. Takeda jumps around a lot, has a lot of hooky things, he's kind of all over the place, right? And I thought, he's a bit like a spider. Now, the spider was actually used before for a different character. Let's see who was the spider before. So Polar Bear was actually Sub-Zero's MK3. So yeah, more of a reason to have him. The Sindel used to be a giant hornet, which we all know now is going to be Cyrax, right? Who it was? Who it was? Who was it? Where, Dwight? Where? I really should have marked these, I guess. You know. Oh. Nope. I was wrong. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're going back up to this list. Okay. Right. Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Okay, Takeda. Now we have Tanya. Tanya. There's a lot of really good characters out there, but I was thinking Tanya would look pretty beast as a lion. Now, obviously, this image of a lion is a male lion, and we could go with a female lion. But to me, that would fit pretty well for her and her character. And just seeing her morph into that would be sleek as shit. And a lot of times, these male lions are actually afraid of the female lions, all right? So don't be thinking like, no, we need that mane and tail. Anyway, let's move on to Combat Pack 2. Now we have Noob Saibot. Noob Saibot. What do you do for Noob Saibot? We've got a lot of remainders here. Let's go over to Sector real quick. Sector, I think, would be pretty good as a hawk. Because birds are natural predators for hornets, right? They're natural enemies. And hawks, known for like kind of honing in and targeting in on things, right? And what is Sector known for? Honing in on missiles, stuff like that. So it just kind of made sense to me that it would be a bird of some kind. Let's move on once again back to Noob Saibot, any kind of sense. I love pandas, so I'm hoping we see a panda, and that's why I'm making Noob Saibot a panda. Now, if we were talking about the guest characters that are going to be coming into Combat Pack 2, that we do not see here, I think Conan will likely turn into a large snake. The large snake was, like, in the first movie, he, like, cuts the head off of it, just like an anaconda. So I think he would change into that. For the T-1000, anything that looks metallic. Is there any kind of bug that looks semi-metallic? I don't know. Cicada, right? Those have, like, metallic looks to them. And then there is Ghostface. So I'm just going to say Ghostface, maybe a morning bird, because they send calls all day long. And that's what Ghostface be doing. He be running up those minutes. So yeah, this is my current list. Now, if I was to look back up here and see some of the characters that I might want to change around, for instance, like Baraka. A porcupine used to be one of the animals that you could turn into. And I thought, actually, a porcupine could be pretty cool for Baraka. And I know porcupines are kind of cute or whatever else, but fuck it. Why not? Imagine a porcupine with his mouth. That's not very cute. It might still be adorable, but either way, I hope to see something like that. So if you look down at this list, we didn't get to use the shark. This spiked chameleon was also one I was considering for Baraka because he's usually got those little spikes and barbs on him and whatnot. The frog I thought would be good for reptile as well instead of doing an alligator, and because alligator honestly is a wee bit like his second form already. So maybe let's remove the alligator and turn reptile into a straight up frog. Bud, wiser decision, in my opinion. And then, let's see. General Shao, or Shao Kahn back in the day, was a 3-headed, like, hydra. So we're not going to be using him anymore. Now, yeah, we have a warthog down here because I think a warthog is actually a pretty formidable opponent. And now that we've pulled the vulture down here, what do y'all think of still having an homage to a past game by having a vulture in it, but giving it to friggin' Noob Saibot? Because how often do we see vultures together and not by themselves. They're circling, their prey, stuff like that. They're picking at their things together. And honestly, they kind of work as a team. Only other things I can think of are like wolves and stuff like that are like working as a pack. And I feel like vultures kind of work as a pack. They're almost solid black, just like Noob Saibot. That might be the perfect mix right there. The vulture Noob Saibot. All right. Well, I think this does it for the list. I think that's a pretty good list, right? Well, let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions on it. So let's go through it one more time. We have Ashra the owl, Baraka the porcupine, Ermac the scarab, Garrus the hippo, Havoc the hyena, Homelander the octopus, Johnny Cage the kangaroo, Kenshi the kaiba, Katana the butterfly, Li Mei the Bengal tiger, Kung Lao the cheetah, Liu Kang the dragon, Melina the mantis. A lot of those rhyme. Kind of makes me want to change my stuff. Anyway, Natara the pterodactyl. That just sounds awesome. Omni-Man the elephant. And the elephant would also be a callback to another previous character's Animality, but we're not going to recede back to that. Peacemaker the dove of peace. Quan Chi the skeletal T-Rex. Raiden the electric eel. Rain the pufferfish. Raiko the gorilla. Reptile the frog. Scorpion the scorpion. Shang the cobra. General Shao the African buffalo. Sindel the bat. Smoke the panther. Sub-Zero the polar bear. Takeda the giant spider. Tanya the lion, the lioness. Noob Saibot the vulture. Sector the hawk. Cyrax the hornet. I think that's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. All right. Thank y'all for watching. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think of this list. And would you want, I can make this public probably, I think. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what you think of this list, who you think would be a better fit, or if there is an animal that you think would fit way better for any one of these picks that I have made. I love hearing people's feedback on stuff like this. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace to the peace.